Welcome to theindustrynews.online, the video podcast that smells like metal, innovation, and relentless follow-through. Here, you'll hear the stories of people building the future, honest, sharp, and full of craftsmanship. We've got a special guest today at our table. Could you introduce yourself and Flawless Workflow?
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm Jenny. I'm the CEO of Flawless Workflow. At Flawless Workflow, we provide a data and AI platform for the manufacturing industry. And what we do is to centralize the data of the organization into a living model of the organization. And then we build agentic AI systems to help on the processes that the manufacturers have to do and to create the 360 insight that they need to do what they do best.
Okay, and could you maybe explain what Flawless stands for as a company and what drives you as a company?
Yeah, sure. Actually, our big vision is to ensure the environments where people and organizations are free to focus on what matters to them. And currently, the workers are really focused on creating a lot of administration processes instead of actually just delivering the best work that they have. They have to be busy in collecting information and a lot of manual tasks. And that's actually a lot of waste of time, right? And in a world where there's not a lot of workers and people are requesting more and faster and better, then that becomes very challenging. So what we believe in is in creating the first full zero admin enterprise for manufacturers and do that with our platform.
Okay, and outside of this podcast, you also told me you're a co-founder as well as a CEO. What made you start Flawless? How did it begin?
It began because I felt the pain that we are trying to solve today. I did my master's degrees here in the University of Twente. And during my master's, I also had to do internships and side work within the industry I was. And that was for construction management and engineering. And I thought, well, this is the time to focus on building and creating and look what we've done before so we optimize better. And then you sit down and you're day-to-day inputting data into the system, trying to get a lot of information to have some results and so forth. When I thought there was so much more that I could do and that would actually give me a lot of energy. And I had some background also already in tech, so I knew that technology was so much more ahead that could really help me into that process. So I could focus finally on the creation part of things. So I started to automate a few things. I started to understand the disconnection between the IT team versus the people who actually have to sit down and do the work. And that's how Flawless was thought out. What if we have technologies developed from the processes of the users rather than general technologies that then the user kind of have to adapt and use 1,000 tools to get to the point?
Yeah. Okay, and you're also one of our attendees of the Toekomst of the Maakindustrie, our event we're going to organize in January. What are you going to bring those visitors? What are they going to learn from you?
Yeah, what they're going to learn in there, or what I'll try to do my best in, is to bring a good picture of where we are right now with AI, what the organization can already do with it, all the processes you can fully automate, how much time you can already save. What is the utopia of your organization, right?
Yeah.
How could your organization be as effective as possible and really become a zero admin enterprise?
Okay, and that's a nice goal for the manufacturing industry in the Netherlands.
Yes.
So looking ahead 5 to 10 years, how do you see the role of data and AI in the manufacturing industry?
The role of data and AI in the manufacturing industry will be to really support the workers to deliver the value in a faster way, but in a more enjoyable way. I can imagine that things will become, if you have the right data and the right insights and the data set up so you can have the AI automating a lot of things, you can truly have a setup where the client directs the production, right? Not the client that then talks to the sales, that then has to talk to the engineer, and then there has to be a loop, and then, so the client has the input of information, and then everything is working and being automated flawlessly. So that's the client just receives the value at the end. And all the workers have to do is do what they do best, the actual beauty of the engineering, the really hand-to-hands of the production.
Is that also what a future-proof manufacturing company looks like?
Yes, absolutely. If you do not have a good system to centralize your data, to have the best technology running on it, already thought from your processes, then how do you know where the organization is going and what is the status currently and what are the trends of it? So yes, you really need to have such a setup to become truly future-proof and to leave the up and downs of the markets and the trends and so forth, because your data at the end should reflect the reality of the organization, but also start to reflect the future of your organization.
Yeah. And how do you see the balance between human expertise and automation in those companies? Because some people think, okay, when we are going to start using automation, start using AI, my job will be gone. But how do you see those?
Always funny, interesting question, because I believe, or based on our experience in the market, one of the top issues currently, also in Europe, is the lack of workers. And yet we are trying to find a technology that would solve that problem, right? So I think there is an amazing balance to be found. I've never heard anyone saying, oh, what I really love in my job or my sales job or in my engineering job is the administration.
Yeah.
But yet they spend a lot of time there, right? So I think AI will be great to do the tasks that it is really about handling on data and so forth. Humans should look into that information that AI or the insights provide you, and then take the decision and make the creative and specialized take the decision and make the creative work and the specialized work
to make the life of the human much easier and much more fun, maybe also in the company.
Exactly. What I say is that when we have our AI agents working, they are digital colleagues that are working with you, parallel with you, where it allows you to focus on the things that you actually want, the inputs and the workout of the value of the work, and not on the things you have to do in order for things to be administrative fine.
Okay. And in your opinion, what distinguishes a modern data-driven manufacturing company from a traditional one?
Very good question. So a modern day company and a traditional company. So a traditional company, companies can be traditional but still modern. I think we should start with that, because I feel like people take a lot of pride in many years of this manufacturer or so, and I think there's a lot of value there. But you can have a company where so if you start from what the client wants and the client input for the new project or so, that information will be worked out by AI agents and digital co-workers that will do to help the engineering to prepare the data, to help the work preparation and the planning, because you have all this information in all points, and then structure the planning so then you see, okay, more capacity, less capacity, more sales, less sales,
Yeah.
So I think at the end it will be I think this might be too innovative, but I think people should start to see the organizations differently. They should start to see as my organization and my processes is a data flow, and started to see almost as a software company. And what I produce is the manufacturing part, right? If you see as a data flow, or the organization as a data that the organization is mostly data and the data flow, then you start to optimize a lot and on those processes.
Okay, so if you could inspire just one change in the manufacturing industry, what would that be?
One change in the manufacturing would be to have that data set up properly and to really look at what AI will bring to them.
So what are the most common data and process challenges you see in those companies?
Yeah, it depends on the sub-segments that you sit a little bit. One of them that we can now fully automate is the bestek documents verwerking. And up until the calculatie process. Planning, big one, because the data is everywhere and it needs the contextualization of your information throughout. It's also what we do to contextualize the organization to the data model.
Yeah.
And if you have that, then you can actually have a proper planning.
Yeah.
Right? Organizational dependence. Service, so the handling of the tickets and where is the information, what did we install before or produce before? So then the workers go there. So it's a bit, it's brought out on the each process actually,
But how do you approach aligning those processes within the companies?
Yeah. The first thing is to understand what's the workflow of the organization overall. And if you focus on sub-segments, it's not that different actually. So metal bewerking company have similar processes to each other.
Yeah.
And that is also similar things that you want to achieve, which means that there is similar data sets. Right?
Yeah.
So if you start to understand that full on the organization and then start to identify, okay, this is a pain, because we either don't have the information or we have to process it manually, then is when you can start to apply the agents to solve those problems.
Yeah. And when implementing those solutions, the AI solutions, how do you get the people involved? Because I think people are key to a good implementation. How does that work?
Yeah, that's a very good one. I think first it comes with awareness. For instance, when we implement our platform and we start to automate those processes, we always have an inspiration session of how does the Mac or your company in the version 4.0 look like.
Yeah.
Right? So involvement from the beginning.
Yeah.
So where is that we are going? Where is that we want to achieve so this organization goes for the next generation on? And then afterwards, people really like to tell about what they do and then their processes and how the exceptions that they want to take in consideration with the agents and so forth. So having a roadmap where different people in the processes that they are involved are part of the implementation with the user group, with someone that is responsible for the whole project and so forth is how you get a lot of engagement.
Yeah.
But it also come a lot from a decision makers where they they have to be
as well. Yeah.
Exactly. It needs to be almost part of the strategy of the whole organization. So people are really looking at, okay, we know where we are going, how we are doing that, and we are doing, for instance, that with Flawless Workflow platform, and then I think everybody is so much engaged, and it becomes a team spirit, a new uitdaging for everybody.
Yeah. So what's the biggest mistake? What they make? What you saw in the field?
Biggest mistake. That's a good question.
Maybe it's about islands or just not involvement of the management. I don't know.
Yes, I think sometimes people, this can be big, right? It will be very big AI, but sometimes you make it too big.
Yeah, okay. That's a good. I never heard that one.
Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you can just start with one process, right? You want to have the management thinking about the vision, thinking about how the organization going to look like, the involvement of people. But let's start small, right? And let's start either looking at the data flows and how we can centralize, or just one process and how can we make an agent running there. And then from there, that's how things happen, right?
Start
from
rolling.
there it grows and grows and grows, and you also get the belief and acceptance of the team itself.
And do you maybe have a use case where your platform made a significant difference in efficiency and decision making?
Yes, we have various use cases. I was talking before about the Bestek document. This is a place where a lot of hours are wasted. And we can automate that. So you think, for the people listening, think how many people are involved in the workouts of the documentation that clients bring in. I think planning as well. It's been something that we are working with to have it more structured, with more insights on the organization. KPI dashboards, for instance, that because we centralize the information, now it's updates and it is from the various systems, then you can truly follow up what's going on operationally in an organization and live as well. So that really brings a lot of insight for management team and for the teams.
And for the manufacturing companies, what are the systems or the legacy systems that you say I would start there first? I see that because you said you have to take small steps. So what are the steps you would take first in one of those companies? Is there a step which is always the best step, or?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, the first thing is to sit down with the management and the key group for the awareness of what it is all possible and what it means for their strategy. Then we start to look into the processes and the information so that we can integrate into the platform. Once we integrate that, we set it up into a structure that becomes almost the living data model of the organization, and start to build the first agents on top of it to start to automate the processes. Alternatively, we start with the most painful process you currently have, the most painful use case. That can be, for instance, the contractor documents, the Bestek documents, where you want to automate fully their process, and then you go to the next one, and then you automate fully the process.
Always the most difficult, maybe the most painful, always first.
It depends. I think there has to be a good business case there, right?
For sure.
But we also shouldn't. Some processes are just generally really, really complex. So instead of wasting a lot of time there, we have to think about what is the low-hanging fruit. Right? Where can we do a lot of impact and bring a lot of value in a cheapest way, in a easiest way, where everybody gonna feel and it's just,
tick off the box.
Tick off the box.
You did your job, and now we've got the confidence to work everything out.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And how do you measure the impact of your solutions?
In hours. At the end of the day, we want to have the zero admin enterprise, because administration takes a lot of attention from the modern worker, a lot of time, and time is the only thing we have. That's the most valuable resource in the world, right? It's not renewable. You cannot buy more of it. There's nothing to do about it. So we measure that in hours. So how many hours we reduce from this having to do this process? How many FT capacity we took away from people having to manually do these new reports? So at the end of the year, you know what happened. You know, so it's directly related to the time we save.
Okay, and a little bit more about Flawless. If a company wants to work with you guys, how does it work? How is the onboarding process? Who does he need to contact? What can he expect?
So let's starting it from a customer journey almost. The first thing is you contact us to see a bit of a demo of the things that we are doing and how the organization look like.
Yeah.
We explained through the processes of your sub-segments of what is the impact on the platform, where are the use cases, where are we saving time, what are AI agents as well, because a lot of people don't also have that knowledge. So we want to give that knowledge for free as well. It's part of our process.
That's why we're in the podcast.
Yeah. And then we start by identifying the use case for the platform, the first use case for the entry. It can be the process automation of the sales or the engineering. You have part of the platform. We have a module that is called Talk to Your Data, and basically once we start to integrate the information, you can literally talk to your data. Hey, what is the information that I need, and what is the context and rules of the organization for us to make this new engineering for this new client, for instance, right? You can literally, because you have the information and you've done this before, right?
Yeah.
So we choose the use case, and then we start there, and we have a roadmap for it, for the implementation, where we look at the processes and information that is currently involved into that process. We implement the data, we do the platform, we do the integration, and then we have the AI, for instance, running. And there's also training, but also ensuring that the trust is there, a lot of feedback mechanisms, and education of the worker.
So what's the ideal customer profile, to say it in marketing terms?
Yeah, the ideal profile is industries in the construction supply chain. So they have to do production of things for contractors or the clients.
Yeah.
Companies that are working with metal itself, companies that are building machines or big projects, and the installation companies.
Okay. And do you also work with partners or something, of everything in-house from Flawless?
Well, our partners are mostly the companies that the companies we work for work with.
Yeah.
So, for instance, the software suppliers of our clients, for instance, the ERP or the PLMs of the MES or so.
Yeah.
So we like to partner with them to really ensure the integration and that the data is available, and we can work together to ensure that the client has the best outcome possible.
Okay, so we're reaching the last question of this video podcast. What should you say to a traditional manufacturer who's still skeptical? Why now and why Flawless?
Why now is because you want to be competitive and you want to have organization that will deliver the value at the speed people expect, that can do more, but with the same people.
Yeah.
And these technologies are going fast, and we are making sure that in our platform, we are really on the edge of what's possible, but making it also reliable enough so you can trust it to put into your processes.
Okay.
And why Flawless Workflow? First, we are really coming from not a task-by-task thing. We come from a process mentality, from an organization flow mentality. And you'll have a place where the living model of your organization in terms of data is. You have a place where you have digital co-workers working alongside with your team, but then for the manufacturing, right? Rather than some other random tool that someone just used, right? And we will have the full context of the organization so that AI and the data is actually helping and not distracting.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for this Nice conversation.
Thank you.
So if you want to know more about Flawless, I will drop the contact details below, and we'll see you on the event.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thank you so much. Yeah.
26 minutes.